Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right.
Hey guys, welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of the revamped and new look Kevin McNaughton Show. It's no longer crazy football. This is Super Kev Unscripted, and this is episode number 1. Live and on the fly, as they say. So show is live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Ace Podcast Nation, as you know, is home to many great shows and series featuring top guests, expert analysts and more. So give us a follow on social media, subscribe to the YouTube channel and spread the word, and you can get the audio versions of every single show at the usual radio and podcast platforms. Links to which are in the description. Super Kev Unscripted is unique and different to all our other shows, as in this series we do not focus on one particular subject or just the guest's career. All the questions and topics are set by you, the people. Nothing off limits, no censors, no scripts to speak of. Joining me for this series, as ever, is former Scotland international, ex-Aberdeen, Bolton, Cardiff City and many other clubs. It is Super Kevin McNaughton. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to be back, mate. It's been a wee while, hasn't it?
I know, and obviously we had the crazy football series, which me and you absolutely loved, and people seem to be enjoying it. But it was we were having issues with the copyright of the clips, unfortunately, and it was becoming a massive effort to upload it, and then I'd have to take out the clips and stuff. Very boring story, but so we decided we'd come up with something a bit different, and people enjoyed your unscripted and uncensored episode, so I thought let's try something similar to that. Let's do it. But the first thing I want to touch on, mate, is we saw recently Sergio Aguero put his hands on a certain Shan. He dared to touch her shoulder, and the outrage on social media and in the media was outrageous.
It was appalling. Yeah, it was appalling.
It was shocking, mate. And like I joked to Andy on the Monday show, like I said, guy, can you imagine if Kev had flattened Shan like he did, back in the day? He'd have been finished. Like, and when you saw that outrage, you must have sort of thought to yourself,
well, yeah, I got a few tweets, I got a few things, I got a few messages. Sort of brought it all back. It was like saying every time anything happens or any comments are made on Shan, my name just gets dragged back up. So yeah. It's even my,
it would have been brutal, mate. You'd have been cancelled, I think.
My son seen that clip for the first time. He's into his YouTube and that now. He's 11, so he's getting into, he was like, Dad, I've seen you on the Football Funnies. He said, you ran into somebody. I was like, oh no. he's clocked onto that now. So, yeah, I said that's one of my career highlights, son.
Yeah, that was my favourite part of my career. It is what it is, isn't it, I suppose? That's a brutal question to start. Rob Boyle says, Si, who's your favourite co-host, the fox in the box or the silver fox? I'm going to sit on the fence and say what I really enjoyed was when me, Andy and Kev did a show all together. That was awesome. Obviously, Kev
very diplomatic.
It was, yeah, I thought so. Kev stood in for Andy when Andy's missus was just having a baby, and then the following week he joined me and Andy as a guest, and it was fun. Good shit. Yeah. But James says people always blowing shit out of proportion. Yeah, That is the way, and it is. So we've had a few questions already. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go with the question. Some people sent in some questions and topics. So to start us off, I'm going to go with someone asked us, can you name 5 all-time dinner guests or podcast guests, dead or alive, and why? So I'll let you do your 5 first, mate, and your reasons, and then we'll kind of go from there.
I've just gone for pure comedy value for all my guests, to be honest with you. It's not really... I'm guessing there'd be a wee bit of alcohol involved.
5 page 3 models.
We did talk about that before we came live.
Yeah.
Said for a bit of crack we could have just went for 5 page 3 models.
Should have.
Yeah, but I've gone with Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, Bill Murray, Richard Pryor, and Frankie Boyle.
Oof. Frankie Boyle stands out in that crowd, doesn't he? Comedy would be a bit different between all them.
Well, it could cause a wee bit of friction, but
yeah. I wanted to get Frankie Boyle in mine, but there was other people who I wanted in before, and I had to drop a couple. Didn't even get Jim Morrison in there, so I went for Al Capone, Eminem, Maradona, Bob Marley, and Alex Ferguson and Roy Keane as a duo, and I'm going to apply all 5 with alcohol and watch it implode.
Yeah, so
it could be brutal, couldn't it?
Maradona might be ordering some other stuff.
Well, yeah, you'd have Bob Marley would be bringing his range of product. Maradona would bring his.
That's it. That table.
Eminem would probably bring a bit of everything. Fergie and Roy Keane get some red wine in them. Either hug it out or fight. I'm not quite sure. Al Capone, Jesus, he'll be supplying the alcohol. He was in the Prohibition era, wasn't he? Giving all liquor.
Bit bootleg.
Sorted, no problem at all there. So yeah, people can vote on whose dinner guests would be more enjoyable. I think yours would be more. There'd be more laughs in yours. I think there'd be a bit of friction in mine. Bit of arguing going on. James Costley says his would be Ricky Gervais, Jim Jeffries, Bill Burr, Ronaldo, and Eminem for him. It's a good shout. Eminem's a good one. He's got a lot of stories, and Gervais was up there for me as well. Actually,
I didn't think him, to be honest with you.
Got to pick 5, wouldn't you? And like I say, I left out Jim Morrison, no Liam or Noel Gallagher. I definitely would have had Liam in there if the list was longer. What other questions did we get along that line? So we had one. Someone said, "Who's the most famous person you've ever met?"
I met Joe Mangle from Neighbours once.
That is awesome.
Joe
Mangle is incredible.
I swear, I'm not somebody who goes and gets pictures with people, but when I seen him, I just thought, wow, that's made my day. I went and got a picture of him.
So, back in the day, I was supposed to go to Australia for a year with my mate, and we had everything booked. We had our visas. I had taken out a loan to cover the year and stuff, and I met my wife anyway, so I ended up not going. And while he was out there, straight away, and she's just come into the chat just in time for you to say that. Thanks, Kev. No, she so when my friend was out in Australia, he walked into a bar and there was a band playing, and he thought, "Oh, this is a good band. I quite like this." I had a few beers, and then he kind of looked up, and it was Carl Kennedy's band, Dr. Carl Kennedy from Neighbours.
No way.
It was his band. That's incredible, isn't it? And I was just like, that is awesome. And I missed that one.
That would have blown my mind, that would have.
Yeah,
I would have been up on stage.
It's a crazy one. I haven't met that many famous people in person. I ran into at the Mighty Boosh Festival. I met Tubes from Soccer AM. Yeah. That was a bit random.
I went to the Wildcard gym. You know the boxing gym in LA that Pacquiao and that trainer.
Oh yeah.
Met Freddie Roach there. Got some pictures with him and chatted about him. I think what else? Same in LA. We kept bumping into guys in LA. We're at a nightclub. Somebody who won American Idol, a guy, I can't remember his name. I can't remember actually the guy's name, but Met
Just
him.
full of celebrities out
Just
there that were like
you
around
were
them.
just bumping him left, right, centre.
And they were just crowding you, saying, Super Kev,
Obviously,
Super
they
Kev.
were getting headlocked and everything. It was just like, whoa,
They were
steady.
offering their wives,
Yeah,
as is tradition. But I will just clarify, by the way, so I don't get myself in trouble. I chose not to go to Australia, and it was nothing to do with my wife.
Not a chance.
It's just to make that clear. It wasn't her fault. I chose not to go. So we were in early. Yeah, that's spot on. Oh yeah, and I met Andy Campbell. Yeah, I've met him.
Well, there you go.
There's
if
not
I'd
many,
have met Andy, I wouldn't have gone to Australia either.
No, there's not many bigger legends than the big man himself. Well, we had another celebrity question. Oh yeah, who's the most famous person in your phone contacts? Oof.
Phone contacts. I don't know. I think Robbie Fowler would probably be quite high profile, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a good one. Why haven't you passed that contact along then, Kev? Come on.
Well, to be fair,
It's probably out of date.
I'm not texting for about. To be fair, I don't even know that number still exists.
You've been texting him since he was a teammate. He's never replied.
I was going to say the last time I contacted him was when he was at Cardiff. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I
might have changed his number since then.
Yeah, most of my phone contacts is footballers now. Mehmet Dalman, maybe. He's probably my most famous. Yeah, it depends though. Like, I suppose. Yeah, every footballer which has been on the channel at some point, I've got their numbers. But trying to think who else. Any pop stars? Ever met a pop star?
Nah. But I met Robbie Keane. I had his number, but then I remember messaging him and he never replied either. He was blanking us. He was either blanked us or I had an ex-teammate and then I stupidly, whilst drunk, passed his number on to a few of my friends who are fans of the club he started playing with. When that was a bad mistake.
Yeah,
because
when
he had a bad game, he was getting all sorts.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Loads of people have contacted, or not loads, but like some people have contacted me recently asking for people's numbers and stuff who've been on the show, and I've been like, look, can't be passing on people's number. Like that's not the way. It's
easily blocked, but
yeah, it's not the done thing, is it? You don't pass people's number on. Rob Boyle says you should phone Robbie Fowler live on the show. Can't, you're on your phone. You're filming.
I'm actually
on your
using
phone.
my phone.
Stephen Thompson, bit of a music star, big Steve-O.
Oh,
I know you're good friends with him. But Colin Griffith, people can make Colin Griffith. I met a few. Jay Bothroyd, met a few Cardiff players over the years. But not too bad. So let's have a look at the questions before we move on to the next topic, which was sent in. What did we have? I saw someone asked you a football-related question. Gavin Randall said, "Who is the best player that you've ever played with?"
Ever played with? See, when I was younger, I think I've answered this before. It might be even on here. When I was younger, it was Ian Jess.
Yes, you did. We talked about
I think
it.
I did talk about this during the middle part of my career. I think there was quite a few good footballers. Obviously, got like some Wits as well.
When you played with Cardiff, dude, like you played with some unbelievable players.
Yeah, you had like some Wits, and you had Alan Ramsey's and
Wits, Ramsey, Jay Bothroyd, obviously.
Bellamy towards the end of his career. Obviously, Kane. He wasn't I wouldn't say he was in his prime, but still, it was certainly
did a job, mate. Did a job.
Certainly, spells when he was playing, he was different level. Yeah, even Gary Medel, you would look at him and probably class him.
See, I thought he was good. I did.
Even though I don't think he just suited. They just think he didn't suit the way we played.
No.
Probably looking back, he could have if he'd have gone in and played centre half, maybe in a 3 or something like that, or he maybe would have done a better job for Cardiff. But
yeah, they played him a bit out of position, didn't they? And
it was just it was for Chile. He was unbelievable at centre half. He ended up playing World Cup, and I think that's what got him his move to Inter Milan. off the back of
yeah,
playing centre half for Chile.
The World Cup was after his season with Cardiff, wasn't it? And he, you're right. He played.
He set the world alight playing centre half.
He was very good. I thought he was a really good holding midfield player, and it just didn't work for him in Cardiff. I don't know whether he didn't settle.
I don't think he suited the way we played.
Did you mock him like you mocked Juan Carla, and that's why he didn't settle? Is it your fault?
I just think I didn't think he enjoyed the football, and then I think he found carbs. He started eating a lot of carbs, put on a bit of weight.
He did get a bit big towards the end, didn't he?
He was enjoyed these. He must have been on the old Tuesday 2-for-1s.
Yeah, down Caroline Street, mate, on a Saturday night after football.
Yeah,
just having the old kebabs or chicken curry and chips, mate. That's what it was.
He did. To be fair, he did. He started packing on a bit of beef, which
he was adapting to the game, mate. That's what it was. He was adapting to the game.
He was living a similar lifestyle as me. I think that's what it was. Just luckily, my genetics were slightly stronger than his.
Yeah, well, it goes without saying, doesn't it?
My Scottish genetics. I mean, I maintain my skinniness.
Scottish genetics are made for drinking and eating, like Welsh ones, isn't it? So you can pack away the alcohol and the food nicely.
Yes.
What else we got? James says, "What's your favourite memory in a Cardiff City shirt?"
Oh, it was lots. The first goal for Cardiff, Hereford, FA Cup final, and there was probably three, I would say, really poignant ones. Getting promoted was just a special night. But playing an FA Cup final in a Cardiff shirt was unbelievable. I know that we played in the League Cup as well, but the FA Cup was something else. Even though I actually watched that game again quite recently. It's just frustrating, isn't it? It's frustrating because I think we should have we had a great chance to win it. Should have really did better.
But even the Liverpool game,
in the Liverpool Cardiff Cup,
we should have won that in the end, because Kenny Miller's chance right at the end. I think we talked about this before. Every time I see it, it makes me just so frustrated, because he's banged in goals like that for fun throughout his career, and then that one, just after we've equalised, and he was just like,
big chance.
I can't cry about that again. Interesting starting lineup for Cardiff this evening. Glatzel starting, and Kiefer Moore. Interesting. But let's see. So we'll leave the questions just for a sec. Oh, I'm going to have this one. This is a good one. Rob Boyle asks you, who was the most overrated player you've ever played with? Brutal.
Overrated? That's a bit harsh. I don't know. Is there anybody? I wouldn't say he was overrated. There was a bit of money spent on. Was it the boy Luigi Glombard?
Yeah.
There was a bit of money. I'm sure there was a bit of money spent.
Yeah. Did we spend a few? We spent a few quid on him, didn't we?
I think so. He came in, never played. Obviously, we've got. I don't really want to say it, but Big Andreas.
Yeah, he didn't get. See, I think.
I thought he was alright.
People are harsh on him. I really do. Because
it's not his fault. We've paid that amount of money for him. I think he was just an up and coming player that just didn't settle. He got a bad injury early on, and then he just struggled. Didn't get many opportunities. But see, if I'm a manager and I'm paying that amount of money for somebody, I'm going to be at least starting him.
Well, that was it. He didn't really start, did he? And I think one of the issues for him is when you're that young, coming to a foreign country, you need to get a run of games to settle, don't you? And I don't feel he never got that run of games. He was always on the bench, and then he wouldn't come on, or he'd come on for 2 minutes, and then it's like, well, why? What a waste of money. But I always felt like, not what a waste of money because he was shite. I felt like, what a waste of money if you're not going to play him.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
If you see something in somebody, I'm sure he ended up at Atlanta, and he's
got a really, really good goal scoring record. Off the top of my head,
a good CV. It just didn't happen at Cardiff. But I just think he never really got much of a chance, even though he gets slated because of his price tag. That's all really. But he never really played, so you can't really judge him on his performances.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I just looking now at his goal scoring record, because he's only 27 now. So he played 8 times for Cardiff in a season and didn't score. I think he did get injured at some point.
Well,
Before that, he scored 18 and 34 for Copenhagen. When he went back to Copenhagen then after Cardiff, he scored 28 goals in 90 odd games. He scored a couple for Atlanta, then he scored a couple for Bordeaux on loan, and then for Parma, where he is now, he scored 12 goals in 28 games. It's pretty good, mate, to be honest. In the Italian league as well.
I always thought there was something there. I just think he got injured pretty early, and he never really got back for that injury quick. So he wasn't training well, and so he wasn't getting games. And then just a snowball when you've not played for a while. It's not easy to just come back in the team and start playing. You've got to be given a wee chance.
That's it. Craig just said there he scored quite a few Champions League. He's played quite a few Champions League games. Scored some big goals.
When his first few games in training, he was a bit rusty, and then I genuinely thought there was something there. He hit a few. He smashed a few with his left peg. I was like, oh, there's something there at least, but he never really got a chance.
Cardiff are 1-0 up already, which is good.
Yes.
And even he's like obviously plays for the Danish first team. He's scored 5 goals at international level in 26 games. So I mean, there's clearly something there. Like the Italian league is not the easiest of leagues to
definitely not
go and score goals. Like if you look at the likes of like Ashley Young and guys like that who've gone over there recently, they haven't been pulling up trees out there. I know Lukaku.
Oh, it's a difficult league. It's like a difficult league for strikers as well.
Absolutely, mate. See if there was any more football-related questions before we move. Gary Medal, I think that is, was in the team of the World Cup for that year. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just looked a different player when he was playing centre half, and he must have gone on a wee creepy diet before he went to the World Cup as well, because he shifted a few pounds.
Yeah, 100%. Jay asked, he emailed and said, have you had any bad experiences with agents? And he followed that up with, or Nigerian princes and emails. Have you ever been scammed, or has anyone ever tried to con you? I read it quick like that because he didn't use commas, so it was like all
just all big one. Nah, I've never had any bad experience with agents or Nigerian princes. Was it?
Yeah.
Haven't actually met you.
No. Do you have unsolicited emails from Nigerian princes?
I haven't.
I don't think I've ever had one. I've seen them. Like I don't think I've ever received one.
Quite recently, I was getting on my Instagram account, been getting fake Angelina Jolie pages.
They're just
obviously they were just looking for money. They were just saying one was for Tracy who needed a kidney transplant.
Jesus Christ.
And another one wanted me to fund her movie with bitcoins.
Well, but that's what Angelina Jolie would do, isn't it?
See what you need to do with that, though.
That.
You need to turn it round on them. So they ask you what you do, and then you just go proper over the top. So the first thing I said I owned my own animal sanctuary where we cared for animals that got injured playing sports. So it just snowballed from there. So we had like a horse that came in who did its medial ligament playing polo. Had who else was that? There was a baby crocodile called George that we brought in. He pulled his hammy playing 5-a-side, right?
Jesus.
So this just snowballed.
And then they send you money, and that's what it was.
Well, then they're after your money, so then that's when they got a wee bit angry at the woman.
Yeah.
Or guy. I'm going to say it was a guy.
Yeah, most likely.
If it was Angelina, I thought her language she used was really quite graphic for LA Star.
Has anyone ever tried to con you or like rip you off?
So I got my eBay account hacked. I just remember I think it was about 800 quid came out of my account. I went onto my eBay account and I'd seen that I'd bought a drone that was being sent to somewhere in London. So there was just a palaver. I tried, obviously, blocked all my cards, and then thankfully got in touch with the company that was transporting it and managed to stop it before it reached there. I got sent back to the guy, and then I got a refund. But I had to just completely lock down. It's just a hassle actually cancelling everything, because you don't know what they've got into. So I had to just delete everything, start again.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, isn't it? In this day and age, like everything you do is like online and digital and on your devices and your laptops and your computers and stuff.
So everybody's got a hold of your information. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that is. Rob asked, what was Craig Bellamy like to be around?
Just a real, I don't know the word to describe him. Just really cheerful, and he was always pleasant to everybody.
What's he like in training? Does he like really expect like high standards all the time? That's the impression I get from him.
Yeah, like I just think, like I said to you before, I think we spoke about him, and I just think he just never had any filter. So if he had something on his mind, he was saying it. It wasn't, it wasn't
malicious.
To me, he was always all right with me. I never had any problems with Craig. Craig was always fine with me, but I know I could see him rubbing up a few boys in the dressing room. Just mainly because of that reason. Just sometimes there was no need for him to say stuff, but he always felt like he had to get everything out. So
yeah, even when there was all that stuff with John Terry, wasn't it, and Wayne Bridge, I always remember that interview he did after the Man City Chelsea game on Sky. It was like they just asked him something about John Terry, and he went off on like this tangent saying, like, we all know what sort of person John Terry is, and like he'll always give an honest opinion. I would love to get him on like a podcast, because I think he's a very intelligent guy, like, and I think he knows. I think he's mellowed a bit with older age, but he'll always give an honest opinion, and I got a lot of respect for that. Like, I respect anyone who will give an honest opinion, even if they know that their opinion might rub people up the wrong way, or it's against the general consensus. Because at the end of the day, mate, everyone's entitled to one. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, whether you like it or not. You got
like I didn't mind that side. Just sometimes I just think he went over the top with certain people, with guys who wouldn't answer back, sort of thing.
The quiet ones, like
so things like that.
On his day, mate. A phenomenal player in his
great football.
I think I really think he's one of the best forwards in Europe.
One of the most intelligent footballers I've played with, in terms of always made the right decision in terms of his passing or his final ball or his decisions. For that for me was the difference between being a half decent player and a great player, was the decision making process and the execution. He was good at both.
I always remember when he was playing for Man City, when they played United, and I think it was like 4-3. It might have been the day Michael Owen scored his first goal for United in like the 95th minute.
Slots a couple.
I'll always remember, Bellamy, I think Bellamy scored 2, maybe even 3 that day. But there was one where he was one-on-one with Rio Ferdinand, and he just ripped Rio Ferdinand to pieces. Like, he just outpaced him, outskilled him, like, and Rio Ferdinand was in his absolute prime at that point. Like, I think he was coming like on the latter half of his sort of career, if you like. But like Rio Ferdinand, he's pacey, one of the best defenders England's ever produced.
Yeah, I know the goal you're talking about.
Bellamy just made him look like a mug, like.
You had that in his locker.
Oh yeah, Rio Ferdinand, mind, he's another one I would love to have a little interview with. Like, I think he's similar. I think he gives an honest opinion, and sometimes that rubs people up the wrong way. I think the only difference is the way he packages his opinions is different to, say, the way a Craig Bellamy or a Roy Keane package their opinions. Like, they package their opinions as, this is the kind of like,
I think
this is how it is. This is I'm right, you're wrong, sort of thing.
Like I said, I think it wasn't that sort of, when he was giving those sort of opinions or he was saying his peace of mind. I don't think that was what rubbed them guys up the wrong way. I think it was just occasionally he would go just a wee bit over the top.
Like Gavin's there, he said about the goal celebration when just after a European Liverpool game, wasn't it? And there'd been rumours that he'd threatened or attacked Risa with a golf club, and then he's scored the next day for Liverpool in the whatever Champions League or whatever it was, Europa League, and he's done the golf swing celebration, and like, I don't know, like, no one will ever know really exactly what happened because it's all innuendo and rumours, and but I don't know. I like footballers to have a bit of a sense of humour when it comes to things like that are rumoured to have happened. Like when Wayne Rooney done that, when he got knocked out by who was it? One of the
it was Bardsley, Phil Bardsley. It was.
Yeah, and they were drunk and they were messing about, and he got knocked out, didn't he? And then he scored and he did the celebration. Like, I like that. Like, people forget sometimes that just because they're Premier League footballers doesn't mean that they, they
like to have a social life as well.
They like to have a beer with their mates and stuff. Like we were talking about the second episode of Crazy Football, which we did, which obviously got taken down in the end because of the copyright thing. But like, we had some wine, and if we'd been in the same room, we'd have been messing about and whatever, and you're entitled to do that.
Yeah,
but
because if I'd have caught you on it,
yeah, I'd have been down
to
the camp.
You'd have been gone.
It wouldn't have been a golf club though. I'd have cracked you with my walking stick. So I'd have been I do. James says, "Who is the most nice, humble, down to earth teammates in your opinion during your time at the best club in the world?"
Oh, quite a few guys, plenty actually. Good likes of Don Cowie was like that. Just a really nice, down to earth guy. Really top pro as well. Guys like Ricky Skimmaker as well. Just really guys you would sort of look up to.
Top level
a lot of
guys.
Yeah, there was. To be honest with you, there weren't many people that came through Cardiff that I thought were total legs. There's a lot of guys who maybe.
Gaz has asked. He says he always asks this question, mind. He says, "Who's the biggest dickhead that you've ever met in football and why?"
Football.
Is there anyone who you've ever met which has like really rubbed you up the wrong way?
Nah, not really. Obviously, you mentioned the guy Juan Cala, but I just didn't think he got my sense of humour, and I really took offence to it. So a lot of people, there's been a few people who said, "Oh, you and Juan." I was like, listen, I quite like Juan. I just thought probably wound him up a bit too much. So obviously, if you wore a rugby top, it was a horrendous rugby top, and if you take stuff into the changing room, you're at the mercy of the people.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff I had stuff glued on the roof, and I brought a pair of trainers once, and somebody glued them to the ceiling at Aberdeen because they were that bad. So you've just got to roll with the punches in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's
for me. If somebody starts really proper losing the plot, then they become a bit more of a target. I used to laugh things off, and you never got touched again. As soon as you start losing the plot, I just he did. He wasn't happy, but he just wasn't happy with me slagging his rugby top.
Yeah, we talked about this before, didn't we? It's a weird one, isn't it?
But he's probably not from that environment. He's been Spanish, obviously. Where people
it's different, mate. It's a different lifestyle. Yeah. Different, different.
Scotland, the Scottish dressing room was worse for especially at younger age. No, you couldn't get away with anything. Your clothes, anything. I ended up just buying loads of black tracksuits. Just honestly, you couldn't
fit in.
Just honestly, just white trainers, black tracksuits, wore them every single day.
I think I said to you when we talked about this initially, the Juan Carla thing, like one of the most brutal changing room environments I've ever been in was cricket ones. When I was 15, 16, I used to play men's cricket, and it was just non-stop. And if people got their hair off with someone taking the mick out of you for whatever, a bright pink shirt or bright green shirt, something, whatever it may be, and if that person got their sort of knickers in a twist, for lack of a better term,
Mm-hmm.
it was worse. Because then they would would target him. Like, it was brutal, mate. I think, like, over the years, I would imagine dressing room, that sort of thing's probably calmed down a little bit. From like when you look back at like the late 80s, early 90s, like, and you used to see like Wimbledon doing all sorts of stuff to Sam Man, and it makes me wonder if they were showing that on TV, like, what's the stuff they weren't showing on TV? Do you know what I mean? Like putting, I don't know, deep heat in jock straps and God knows what.
Yeah, that's another one.
Obviously you. Oh, there you are. Johnny asks, "Who's the biggest joker that you've played with? Who was the one for messing about and banter?"
Paul Quinn was up. Paul Quinn was up there.
Legendary sense of humour.
Oh, he was up there. Like, he was.
Was that like Mickey taking, or was that like practical jokes?
So quick. It's just so quick, and he used to like playing a few practical jokes. It was him. Remember when we were talking about the fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
Went into Tom Heaton's room with a fire extinguisher. And it turned out it was the sand one. The whole room was destroyed. And on that trip, I'm sure we were in a nightclub. No, we're actually at a white party down by the beach. And there was those, the bouncy castles that are out on the water. The inflatables. We stripped off naked and swam it. Went out there, started doing star jumps. And bearing in mind, there's a big white party with about 200 people on the beach. He's just out there giving it.
Legendary. I love it.
Bollock naked. So it's good. Yeah, Connie was brilliant. He was my roommate. Connie was my roommate. So Connie was a nightmare as well at Roomba, because he used to take Zopiclone. He used to take it like a sleeping tablet night before a game. But I would just try and go to sleep. He'd put a film on and then take one of these tablets. I'd have to, every night I was like, am I going to need to get up and switch this TV off because you're fucking snoring?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch a movie. I will watch it this time. I was like, all right, okay. 5 minutes into it, just he's
gone, and you'd have to get up.
I got up. It's fun.
Paul, he sounds like that sort of person who's so quick and so witty. The worst thing you can do is have a couple of beers, and I say this from personal experience, but like, the worst thing you can do is have a couple of beers and be in like a pub or something and think that you can get one over on them, with a quick comment. And there was a guy, he was called Simon as well, and I love him to death. He's a cool dude, like, back in the day. And I'd had a few beers, and I thought, I took, said something, just taking a piss. And because I was drunk, he would say something back, everyone would laugh, and then that would annoy me then because he was winning. So I would say, and I kept going and going and going, and he was just so quick. He was just every time just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he didn't get that sort of thing.
Learned a lesson that day.
Connie was funny.
So James Cossey says, I'm sure there was a bit in a City match programme where Paul Quinn said that he hated David Marshall.
You know what? Marcy used there was a few players that lived in the same sort of area. I think it was up beside Rubina somewhere. And Quinny used to say, "He's all got the same. He's all have like little parties in your houses. You all come together." And they used to call it Creepy Lane. So he used to go, Marcy and the rest of them clowns up in Creepy Lane. They're all in swinging parties and stuff. So him and Marcy used to have a bit of banter about that. So any sort of interview in that, I think Quinny used to say, "I hate David Marshall."
Yeah.
I'm up in Creepy Lane.
Classic. That Scottish contingent though in Cardiff in that era, I really think you could tell that there was just this really good, close knit team spirit, and I think that helped with the success on the pitch. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, under Dave, we had our pre-season trips were like bonding sessions as well. So a lot of boys, we had a few beers as well on these trips. I think I've always started the season on fire.
Yes.
Under Dave, I'd love to see Dave's record in the first couple of months of the season.
Yeah, it was always the last couple of games where he fell short, wasn't it?
It was just usually it was actually just before Christmas, and then we had another spell towards the end of the season as well. See, but just tail off. But
yeah,
that was we had a great dressing room. A lot of the dressing rooms. It was only really the only dressing room I struggled because I obviously went away on loan to Bolton, and when I came back, it was a sort of different. For me, it felt like a bit of a different vibe, but in the change room, that was only different.
So when you came back, Malky was in charge then, wasn't he? Was he?
Malky was in charge for about 2 days when I came back from Bolton.
Oh, right, and then he's gone.
Then he got sacked.
So did you when you heard that Marky Mackay was coming in? Obviously, a fellow Scotsman, you'd know Cardiff had a good Scottish contingent. Did you feel like that was going to be a good, for the team, for the career, everything? Did that feel positive? Obviously, he came in and things happened, but like when you first found out he was taking over, were you excited by the prospect?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Always, never ever judge anybody before I've met them or anything like that. So I'm just like,
what was he like, Malky? Because the fans loved him, up until maybe obviously the end, things went a bit thing, but generally the fans loved him, didn't they? They were waiting for that fist pump at the end of the day, at end of the game or whatever. But I always got the impression that some of the players maybe didn't like him.
Yeah, that's probably true. There's certainly certain players.
He's quite dour, Scottish accent. There you go.
He was. I just think he was. The word to use.
Prick?
Nah, not even that. It was just he was. He was sort of no. It was a bit more like it was a bit dictate. It was almost like a dictatorship. Like when everybody we had loads of people running about going mad, and he was.
Do as I say, not do as I do.
So I think that that's rubbed people up the wrong way. Some boys up the wrong way. For me, I just felt that there wasn't one of these players, so I always felt it was peeing in the wind. Even when I was doing all right, it was just a case of wait for me to have a bad game and I was going to get destroyed, sort of thing.
Just didn't fancy you, like.
Nah, which is fair enough. It was just hard because obviously. After my first year, I played about 40 odd games, 47 games or something under him, or I don't know, something like that, 40 odd games. And I went in to go and just to speak to him about getting a new contract. So I'm into my last year, I always get my contract done. It was weird, I didn't really like going into my last year. But I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah,
it felt like sometimes just always felt like it affected us either on the pitch, so just always felt like, just get this done and try and get signed with Cardiff again. So I remember going in to see him, and he said, "No, we need to wait till Christmas because we're not sorting out any of the contracts yet." And then, literally 2 days later, 2 lads signed contract extensions that already had a year and a half, sort of thing. So,
did you feel like that was telling you all you needed to know? Did you?
Yeah, it was. You know what? If you'd have just said, "Listen, we're not 100% we're going to give you a deal."
Yeah, then at least you know where you stand then, mate.
Yeah, you know where you're standing. And I could actually start thinking about, maybe futures elsewhere, so I could start either...
especially when you've got a family and stuff, innit? Like, you want to know what you're doing.
100%.
So if you've got to move, you've got to move. Like,
yeah, 100%. I actually... I went out of contract, basically, at the end of the season. I never
I
got
was going to say,
anything,
did you go on free, or did they...
They offered a year. They offered us a year. So it was the case of...
I always think a year contract in football these days is useless.
It's not.
It's pointless, isn't it?
No, it's not. And it's like for me and the family at the time, I was thinking to myself, I'm signing a year here and I'm probably not going to play. There was options elsewhere. I just thought, you know what, I'll try and have a crack with Cardiff, because obviously spent that long there that it was the season we got promoted. So
yeah,
I just want to have a crack. I just felt a bit sick of it. It was like,
yeah, like I felt sad the way you left Cardiff after all the service you'd given us. I felt like you deserved to go out.
It was
like nicer, I suppose is the word. But
So
I'm not saying they owed you anything, but I know it's football. But
the thing was, there was a new manager that I'd never worked under as well. I think it was Russell Slade who actually released me. So
you were probably getting paid too much then, mate. When Russell Slade come in, if you were on like over £500 a week, you had to go.
Was it?
Yeah,
I went in to see him and he was fine with me. He just said, obviously,
yeah.
I've not seen you play or anything like that, and I've brought my own players in. So I was like, it's fine. We've got no issues with that. At least you know,
didn't it? At least you knew where you stood.
Oh, well, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just under, obviously, just. I found out. I remember. I think I told you as well. I found out it got dropped through somebody else.
Yeah, that's naughty.
Yeah,
that's
sort
naughty,
of things like that. Things like that. But I never made a fuss about it. I didn't really feel the need to.
So, like, my thing with Malky from a fan's point of view is, at the time I really liked him. I had a lot of respect for him for what he had done for the club because he had finally kind of got us over the line. What I didn't like was the way the club kind of under Malky Mackay we were never in the relegation zone in the Premier League. So in my eyes, for a club coming up, there's no way he should have been sacked. Now obviously things come out afterwards and whatever.
Yeah,
but for me, like on the pitch, if you just look at it from that point of view, I felt like it was a stupid decision. They should have left it to the end of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think they
might have been. No, it is. I think they'd maybe, because their relationship was so poor, I think they'd maybe been sort of grooming Solskjaer to come in anyway.
That's it. You could tell that Mr. Tan was well up for that, can you? Like ex-Man United manager, ex-Man United player, legend of the game, etc., etc. Craig says that he was talking to a mate yesterday. He can't remember Cardiff not having Scottish players in the league, in the team until recently. Do you think they miss that passion in and around the squad?
Yeah, I think so. It's just. But
I think it's also.
For me,
I also think that you guys brought. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. I also think you guys, that Scottish contingent, which was there when you were in your pomp, if you like, at Cardiff, brought a lot more than passion. Like, you know, there was some real quality there as well. Not that Craig is saying that. I just mean, like, generally, as that group of players was full of quality. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, I'm just saying similar. There was obviously, like, seeing you guys like the Cormac and, you know, the quality he showed, and certainly quality. But I think I just felt like I always, when I came down, I always felt like I suited the league in terms of the championship style and things like that. It was kind of to be quite robust, and you had to, you know, get yourself in amongst it. I think a lot of Scottish players are a bit like that.
Yeah, 100%. Gavin says, Al says, hey guys, question for Kev. How would you feel if Rangers and Celtic joined the Premier League, and what is the difference between English football and Scottish football?
How would I feel? I wouldn't really care less because I'm a Dundee fan, but if they go, they go. It's just give somebody else another opportunity to go and win the league, because really they've got the monopoly on the league. You know, in terms of resources and stuff, it's really difficult. You've got Aberdeen sort of knocking on the door, but realistically, unless somebody comes in and invests a wee bit more money and they get a wee bit of luck, they're not really going to challenge for the league.
My thing is, right, I've got no problem with Celtic and Rangers joining the English football pyramid. Not a problem at all. What I have said consistently is they absolutely do not deserve to go straight into the Championship or the Premier League. If they want to make that jump, they have to start.
You've got to start at the bottom.
In my opinion, they've got to start in the non-league.
Yeah.
Even if it's the one directly below League 2. I understand them starting somewhere by there. I don't think it's fair for them to start any higher than that. Like, you've got other clubs.
It'll never happen.
I don't think it will. In our day, I think the closest we might get is if they once COVID and everything's out of the way, I do think there's a chance they revamp the League Cup and make it like a
maybe
home nations type thing, which I think could be quite interesting.
That could be alright. But I think like big clubs will not be up for that, and they'll, especially English clubs, they'll just be like, we send the kids.
Yeah. 100%. Gavin said he thinks that if Malky didn't get sacked, he would have kept us in the Premier League. Tan didn't like the fact that he was more popular than our fans. I think there may be an aspect of that to it. I do. But I also believe that there was stuff there. Look, I don't really want to go into all the text messages and stuff like that, but the fact those text messages were sent and said is probably means that it was probably a sackable offence, and they weren't very, they're not politically correct, and they were racist at the end of the day. My point would be is the only reason they found those texts is because they went looking for a reason to sack him. Now, should he have been sacked for it? Yeah, probably. But equally, they were looking for a reason. They would have found another reason if they hadn't have given him one at the end of the day. It is what it is. Right. Let me see where. Yeah. So, sorry. Craig was just saying that we've had dependable Scots in our team constantly, and we don't have that now. Rob Boyle asks, "What's your thoughts on Christian?" I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name right. I think it's Doyage, who plays for Hibernian. Yeah.
He's a Welshman.
Do you think he should be? Yeah, he is. Do you think he should be in the Welsh team? I thought he should be in the squad today.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think. I really think he should have been in the squad today.
I just think,
I've got to be honest.
Guys on form should always come in the squad. Just because they sometimes they're riding across their wave.
Wales are lacking goal scorers, striker as well.
I think whether they're going to stay in there permanently, maybe not. But while they're on form, why not bring them in? Yeah. Why not bring them in while they're on form? Give them a chance.
Yeah, spot on, mate. I completely agree. I think he should have been in the squad, and I think Wales need a goal scorer at the moment. Kiefer Moore's not prolific. Gareth Bale's coming back from like a long term not playing. Daniel James is out of form. So they do need someone who's bang in form, who's going to take that confidence into the games.
Yeah, 100%.
So I was a bit surprised to see him omitted. Back to the topics and questions which were sent in. We had music. What sort of music are you into, Kevin McNaughton?
Sort of indie type of old school 90s sort of stuff, Oasis, Social Club Scene, Dodgy, Cast,
Stone Roses,
kind of that. That's the stuff I sort of listen to.
So we've
and the newer stuff's probably Catfish and the Bootlemen and stuff like that. And
yeah, nice.
Bands like that.
If I gave you a choice and you had to pick one out of Oasis, Stone Roses and the Beatles, which way would you go?
I'd say Oasis just because
so much good stuff.
Just so many. I think I love the Stone Roses stuff, but just feel that Oasis probably timeless, innit?
Yeah, and they've banged out like song after song after song after song, which is just catchy and
like the Beatles. Obviously, they're legendary, but I was never really a big massive Beatles fan. It's not something I would whack on anyway.
No, I've never been that massive into the Beatles. Really, there's a couple of songs I like, but they're not really my go-to.
They're the same as me.
What's the best gig you've ever been to?
Best gig.
So while you think, I'll say mine. I went to see Jamiroquai in the CIA. I thought they were superb, and I saw the Australian Doors, which is like a Doors cover band in Cardiff University, and they were really good because the guy who was like the fake Jim Morrison, like lived his life as Jim Morrison basically. Like he looked like him, he dressed like him, he spoke like him. He was really, really good. And yeah, they're the two. I saw Oasis, and they were good, Oasis in the CIA, and they were on before them was James, which is a great 90s band for those 90s music lovers, and that was a great gig because I would have paid to see James on their own.
Yeah, definitely.
Cast as well, I saw, which was good. I've only ever been to one festival.
Oasis, and I've seen Ocean Colour Scene. I've seen a couple of times. I've seen a Stone Roses tribute band in Dundee that were brilliant. Honestly, just the guy was spot on as just all the mannerisms and everything of Ian Brown. It's good.
Oh, do you know, Stone Roses is a weird one for me. Like, I at my age, like when I was old enough to sort of go to a gig, the Stone Roses had just split up, and I was banging into them, and then. Like for years and years, I would bemoan the fact that I could never see the Stone Roses live. I saw Ian Brown a few times, and like Ian Brown live, it was when he released his first single, like his first album as a single star, which was a pretty good album. Like he wasn't very good live, but like about 20 minutes in, I just decided, yeah, this isn't going to be very like good in terms of like sound quality and singing ability, but as an experience, this is about as close as you're going to get to seeing the Stone Roses. So I just went down the front and just loved it, and it was awesome. Then he played a few Roses songs at the end, and then they got back together, and my brother got me a ticket to see him in Manchester.
Decent, huh?
And I didn't go, and I can't remember why I didn't go. It might have been like a health related thing.
I think it was because your wife told you not to go.
I do.
She said you're not going to Australia and you're not going to this gig, okay? Okay. That's what she said. She said, get the tea on as well.
Getting me in trouble, you are, aren't you?
Get the tea on as well while you're at it.
Ruin me, man. But no, I think it was like, obviously I got a few health problems anyway, and I think it was something like that. So I've missed the boat twice with them because it doesn't look like they're going to do any more gigs, which is devastating for a lifelong fan. Have you been to any festivals? What festivals would you recommend?
I've not really. No, I've just can't.
I've only ever been to the Mighty Boosh Festival. That was it. That was good.
See, whenever the festivals were on, were during the season, so
yeah.
And then
you couldn't go, man.
Did think about going, but a few of them.
If you could pick one to go to, which one would you?
I wanted to go to Tea in the Park. But apparently it's a bit dodgy now.
Yeah, I was going to say the last couple of years, haven't there been like loads of stabbings and stuff?
Yeah, you've just got to watch yourself.
Unbelievable.
What?
If I gave you the choice to go to Coachella or Glastonbury, which one would you pick?
Glastonbury, I would say. I don't even know anything about Coachella. Is that in?
I don't.
Is that in LA?
It's in America. Yeah, I think it's LA. So, just before we move on to our final subject, Rob Boyle says, sorry to drop a tone, but sad news about the ex-Hearts boy today. I don't know anything about that, so if you want to fill me in, then I'm happy to discuss it.
I don't really know too much about it. Obviously, just from what I seen was a brief illness, or that's all I seen. That was all it said in the news. I never read up too much about it. I didn't really know much about the boy. Obviously,
who was it? Bobby Burns, is it?
No, it's a foreign lad.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know.
I forget his name.
I don't want to kind of say the wrong thing. I don't know the situation. I don't know who it is.
I'm sure he was 36.
Ah, right, okay. God, that's young, isn't it? Jesus. I'm 39 on next Wednesday, and I feel old. But yeah, it's sad, mate. Sad. Such a young age to go. So condolences to him and his loved ones.
Yeah, 100%.
So during the Kev McNaughton's Crazy Football, we would finish up. We'd do a top 10 list where we'd look at. We did top 10 dives, didn't we, in episode 1, where we looked at some of the worst. We just pick a compilation on YouTube and we'd pause it and stop it, and we'd give our analysis of these things in a fun way. So someone asked us to do a list of best Halloween films, top 10, and kind of argue it out. But you don't really watch like Halloween films. I hate Halloween and Bonfire Night.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
And someone else asked us for our top 5 favourite films. So what we decided is we're gonna make a top 5 list of the best films ever made, and we'll kind of argue it out for what we think should be in that number 1 slot. But before we do that, a couple of questions on films which had sent in was what's the best book that has been turned into a film?
The best book that's been turned into a film.
I think like Harry Potter's got to be up there, isn't it? Whether it's your cup of tea or not, just the sheer
it was never
level that it got to.
Yeah, that's probably that's obviously in terms of box office.
There,
you would
it?
say that, wouldn't you? But was not the.
What about like
James Bond?
James Bond was books, yeah. I think most of them are.
They've just smashed it.
Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump. James says there, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, to be fair, Lord of the Rings
big films, isn't it?
Massive. I think that's the one up.
I like. There's a Stephen King. I'm not a massive Stephen King fan, but there's one of his series which I really liked. TV series rather than a film. I think it's Haven. I really liked, which was a book before, and I even liked. I liked the book of The Dome, which is by Stephen King.
Yeah.
But
I thought
they
end up getting
series
stopped,
didn't. They didn't. I hate it when that happens, mate. Hate it. Where there's nothing worse than getting into a TV series and then it getting cancelled. Do you ever watch Alcatraz, the TV series? It was very similar to it had very similar actors to Lost, and it came out not long after it. It was incredible, and it was on for one series and it got cancelled, mate. And I'm still quite put out for it. So basically, the premise was these prisoners who were in Alcatraz in like when it was, whatever year, 70s, 80s, whatever, when it was there, before it got closed, were turning up in present day.
I think I've seen that.
And they ended it after first series. I think they should have a rule whereby if you make a TV series which gets taken for a full season, if it gets cancelled, they should have to make like a one-off episode just to tie up all the stories. Just to do the service to the fans, because like Craig says there,
I've watched a few
Alcatraz was quality, but there's been a few over the years which have been cancelled, and I've been like bang into them.
What about like Heroes? Did Heroes not get stopped? Heroes.
They brought that back, didn't they? Fairly recently, in the last couple of years. Heroes.
See what the worst is when they do like 3 and then they just go, you know what? This is rubbish. We're banning it.
Yeah, it's like
you're invested after 3.
Yeah,
you're
knee deep in stories, aren't you?
This is. Do you know what annoyed me? Did you ever watch Lost?
Yeah, I did. I was a
fanatical. That's one thing that annoys me is bad endings to massive, like long stories. That killed me. I was at the end of that. I just want to smash up the TV.
See, my thing with that, I didn't mind the ending. What I didn't like is at the end of season 1, the writer did an interview and said that the island is not purgatory. And then they did like 5 more seasons, keeping people invested and making it really confusing, and people were loving it. And then the very last episode, it was purgatory all along, and I felt like I wasted my whole investment into that series because it's what I thought it was in the first series, but you told me that wasn't the case, so I've just speculated for 5-6 series, and it was the thing I thought it was in the first place. Like,
the things that were annoying me were like there was little subtle things, like see there was a shark that had a sticker on its tail. There was do you know what the smoke monster, even like the smoky thing that was flying about, that thing
smoke
that
monster.
Yeah, just a lot of things that just did not explain it good enough.
I guarantee that will be rebooted in the next couple of years. I 100%. Cardiff City 2-0 up at half time. What about MCU? Marvel? You're a Marvel fan, mate?
Yeah, like a bit of Marvel.
What did you think of the ending to the Infinity War kind of saga of like 23 films? Have you watched every single one?
Every single one of the
Marvel film? Yeah, and or do you just watch the Avengers ones?
Yeah, in and out. I kind of watched. I missed a few of them. You talking about Avenger Wars?
Yeah, like so the
Thanos
ones which
and that.
end. Yeah, so yeah,
Yo.
basically that story, like the
The-
old Snapperoonie.
Yeah, that was good. I quite liked them. I thought.
I thought
I
it
like
was phenomenal.
see the darker. See the darker the sort of they go down. So that's like why I started liking the Batmans again when they started getting a bit darker and
Yeah.
stuff like
Well,
that.
like Endgame and Infinity War are two of my favourite films. Like, and I remember watching Infinity War in the cinema with my missus, and it was just like the ending just sucked the wind out of everyone in the theatre. Everyone was so pumped to watch this film in the cinema the day it's come out, and then at the end, like a load of people died, of like main characters, and of course you've got to wait at least another year to find out where the story goes.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. All right, so top 5 best films of all time. So not necessarily favourites, best films of all time.
All right, I've gone for favourites, so I'll need to.
All right,
just
okay, go on
reassess
then.
it.
Do your 5. We'll do favourites then. Go on then. We'll mix it. So what have you got as your top 5 favourite films?
I've got Shawshank,
Yeah,
Dumb and Dumber,
classic.
Braveheart. They've put Inception and I've gone blank. I don't know why I've gone blank. I must have thought I'd written down 5, but I've only written down 4. Someone else in there. I like the sci-fi. I do like the sci-fi, so I'm just thinking of a good sci-fi film.
I'll throw one out then. The Matrix, the first one.
Oh yes, there
Absolute
you go. 100%.
classic. Because
That
back in
was
those
another
days,
one. See the last one you're like, oh, I could have done better.
yeah. Well, the first one, right, is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the best films, sci-fi films ever made.
One of the
Because
best films ever.
in those days, you didn't know, or you didn't have internet and stuff to spoil stuff, or to even, I'd not even seen like a proper trailer. So I started watching this film with Keanu Reeves, and then all of a sudden, it takes this wild twist into like a simulation when they sew up his mouth in the interrogation room, and it's like, wow, and it was just phenomenal, mate. So my 5 are The Matrix, Inception, The Gentleman. Thought that was phenomenal.
The Gentleman. I think I've seen that.
That's Guy Ritchie's newest film, come out last year or this year.
I've not seen that.
Really, really enjoyed that, and I'm not the biggest Guy Ritchie fan actually. My wife says Spice World.
Yeah, so that's not making the list, unfortunately.
That's not even making the top 50. I gotta be honest.
That one's getting sent to Australia. That one.
The Godfather. I put that up there.
Yes.
Although, as much as I think the Godfather trilogy is an absolute classic, I prefer Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas as well. I'd say the same. I think the Godfather can be a wee bit long-winded, no?
Yeah.
It's quite, it's good, but you're kind of, there's times in it you're like, right, come on, let's crack on a bit, guys.
Yeah. Move it along, like. What else we got? Gladiator's a good one, although it's not in my top 5 favourites.
That's got to be in top 10 though, surely.
Yeah, I'd put that in the top 10. And Goodfellas, what else we got? So then,
see, this is like a bit of a wild card one. I liked Groundhog Day. I thought it was a great film.
Classic, mate. Classic. And I'm all for the
No,
classics, mate.
Caddyshack.
Never seen that.
You've not seen Caddyshack? Oh,
No.
What a film. What a film.
Dumb and Dumber's one of my favourite comedy films of all time.
Oh, Caddyshack's up there. That is up there.
Let's have a think. What else we got? I'm trying to think. I normally got a good list of my favourite films. Like,
Do you like
I
Step
like
Brothers?
all Step Brothers quality as well. And that's the thing. It's just like, it's different films, isn't it? For like, you got your comedies and your horrors and stuff like that. Any horror films which like kind of stand out for you? Silence of the Lambs, I think. Don't know if you class that as a horror, but Silence of the Lambs is one of the true greats for me.
Yeah. I watched a film called The Grudge. I didn't when I was young. Well, I would say younger. I was a bit younger than I am now, but I didn't. There's a wee Japanese kid in it.
I tell you what,
The
Bone Collector.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Absolute phenomenal.
There's another one that's not bad. I think the Hannibal ones are they're okay. They're not as good as.
I like the Silence of the Lambs. I like the Hannibal TV series actually. That's another series which got finished. but I think they're bringing it back next year on Netflix.
Yeah,
That's the rumor.
Is that when the detective guy and
Yeah, I forget his name. He's
forget
got
the
that
guy.
Scandinavian actor, isn't it? Miles Mikkelsen. He's a very good actor. So we got a couple of suggestions from people in the chat. You got James Costley says Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Die Hard, Jackie Chan movies, Dawn of the Dead. Die Hard 1 is a quality. James, The Untouchables, The Longest Hour. I like films with like a twist. What's that one with Kevin Spacey where it's got a massive twist at the end? Kaiser Sose.
Usual Suspects.
That's going in there in the list.
100%.
Right, we're going to have to start whittling this list down for a top 10. So, is there any films where you are absolute nailed on? They have to go in the top 10. Like for me, Matrix and Inception, Shawshank.
Braveheart doesn't go in there.
I'm not going to put them in order at the moment. I'm just going to put the ones which are absolute nailed on. So we've got nailed on. We've got Matrix, Inception, Shawshank, and Braveheart. And then
I think Gladiator's got to go in there, and that's a classic.
Yeah, it's not one of my favourites, but it is. It's just one of them.
It's just an epic,
all-time classics. Craig says the Green Mile has to be in there.
Mr. Jingles. See, I like the Green Mile.
I like the Green Mile, but I'm not having Green Mile and Forrest Gump in there, so you're going to have to pick one.
Oh, Forrest Gump's got to go in there. That's one of the greatest films ever.
Right, Forrest Gump.
Jenny.
Run, Forrest.
Jenny.
So, guaranteed nailed on. Matrix, Inception, Shawshank Redemption, Braveheart, Gladiator, Forrest Gump. So, Usual Suspects.
100%.
That's got to go in there.
Yeah, I think that's the.
I believe.
I like films that are a bit different.
Yeah, I like them which make you think and guess and have a twist. And the first time you watch them, you
I've just
don't.
Forgot.
Go on.
Avatar. Surely that's got to go in.
Yes. Shout and a half that is. Can't believe we nearly left that out.
Wow, what a film that is. That's a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Films like that are game changers.
Life is like a box of chocolates. So, we got to keep this to 10, mate.
Have we got to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nailed on. 2 more. And we haven't got Goodfellas, Silence of the Lambs, Bone Collector, and the Green Mile's not in there at the moment. So
there's got to be a few more. Any more suggestions from then?
Any more in the live chat now before we make our final shout for the top 10 greatest movies of all time? Top Gun.
Oof, that's massive.
Untouchables, The Longest Hour. I don't think I've seen The Longest Hour.
I've not seen The Longest Hour either.
Zulu. Not having that.
Nah, Zulu's getting put right in the bin. Spice
World. So he said Zulu again now as well. Not having Zulu, I gotta say.
It's just they're saying that for the old tune at the end, aren't they?
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan from Craig. Gavin says Armageddon.
Nah, it's too cheesy. I would say Saving Private Ryan's got a chance.
Okay, I'll put that on the maybe list.
Put it in there.
I'm not putting it in the guaranteed spot.
Have you ever seen a film called Cool Hand Luke?
I have not. No.
It's an old day. It's good.
Rob Boyle's not happy. He's very disappointed to see Zulu's not in there.
A Bridge Too Far. Have you seen that film?
I think I have seen it. Yeah. What's it about?
Very good film. That's just one bridge too far. No, it's just about the Allies trying to get across Holland and into Germany, but they had a plan to just capture all the bridges, and I think one of the bridges at the end they just couldn't get to.
What a shout that is by Rob.
Moana, come on. What age is Rob?
Moana!
What age is Rob? 6?
Gavin says Rise of a Foot Soldier. Godfather, my wife
Rise
says.
Of a Foot Soldier.
Shout.
See,
Shite.
I haven't watched that. I was about to say that's like adding ID. Can we put ID into it as well?
Yeah, well, I think ID is good, like compared to Rise of the Foot Soldier.
American History X. What a film that is!
Mate.
That is a hell of a film.
We got to narrow it down to 10, mate. Right. last chance for anyone to add to the list, and then we'll whittle down the last 2 spots before we put them in order to finish. What was the last one you said? American History X.
That's a chance. That's a chance.
That's a chancer. Train Spotting.
The Last of the Mohicans. That has to go in there. What a film! Tell me you've seen that.
Train Spotting. Dancer.
Yeah, Dancer. Have you seen The Last of the Mohicans?
I have, yeah. It's one of the first 15s I ever saw.
What
That
a film.
and the first 15 I ever saw was Dirty Dancing.
I'm sorry, that has to be in it.
Rob Boyle says Jumanji. So far he's suggested Jumanji, Moana, and Zulu.
Wow, can we just eject him straight away? Can he get ejected? And barred for life?
Craig says we need a Robin Williams film in there. So you could have Mrs. Doubtfire, maybe.
That'd be fair, yeah.
That's a good one. Twin Town. Oh, that's one of my favourite films. That is. Welsh boys, Reese fans.
Pretty Shitty City.
Terminator. Pretty Shitty City. Right, I'm absolutely busting for the loo. So
Terminator 2. That could
yeah,
feature.
Terminator 2 could go in there, couldn't it? Right. So far, Rob Boyle says get Andy Campbell back. So guaranteed spots in the top 10 best movies of all time: The Matrix, Inception, Shawshank Redemption, Braveheart, Gladiator, Forrest Gump, The Usual Suspects, and Avatar. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from this list, we need to pick 2 films. Oh, we haven't even got Rocky in there.
Put one Rocky. You're only putting one in. What do you think? The Ivan Drago one. Is that?
Yeah.
Must be Drago one, isn't it? Number 4, is that? 3, 4?
Gavin says, "Do you like Green Street?"
No, it's just the straightforward answer for you there, Gav. No.
Yeah. So we got to pick 2 films from this list: Saving Private Ryan, The Gentleman, Goodfellas, Silence of the Lambs, The Bone Collector, Godfather, American History X, Train Spotting, and The Last Mohican.
The Last Mohican has to go in, surely. What a film.
In my opinion,
a performance by Daniel Day-Lewis.
If I was picking personally, I would probably go with The Bone Collector and Train Spotting.
Would you?
Yeah. So
you'd be wrong.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? We're going to have to pick one each from that list.
Unfortunately,
so which did you say?
Be wrong. You'd be wrong.
You'd be wrong. It's good.
Right, so
it's good, but it's not right.
You pick one. You pick your favourite. I'll pick my favourite.
Go on then. Pick one.
Oh, that's The Last of the Mohicans. And you can pick one of your 2, and you would go with.
And I will go with. I'm going to go with The Bone Collector, because I believe that is phenomenal. See, good, but it's not right. See, I feel bad leaving off like Silence of the Lambs and Goodfellas, and
I would feel bad for putting Bone Collector in before them as well.
I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put Silence of the Lambs in there. I feel that that's a stronger effort. So the final top 10. Okay.
Somebody else brought someone into the equation. To be fair,
No,
Rocky
Drago. My wife just came up with a real good idea. She said,
"What's that?"
Put our 2 lists in the comments, and then people can decide with likes which is the better list. So we'll do that in just a second.
Okay.
So we've got very, very quickly. We got to number these films.
That'll be a quick contest.
Yeah, obviously I'll win because I'll block your tweet, so no one else so no one can like it. Silence of the Lambs, Last of the Mohicans, Avatar, Usual Suspects, Forrest Gump, Gladiator, Braveheart, Shawshank Redemption, Inception, and The Matrix. So automatically, I think Matrix, The Usual Suspects, and Avatar go in the top 5. Would you agree with that?
Sorry, was that Matrix?
Usual Suspects, and
I'm
Avatar.
not sure about Usual Suspects. You think in that top 5?
Yeah, I think I do. All right, we'll leave that one. Matrix and Avatar then. Straight away, top 5.
Shawshank has to go top 5. Shawshank has to go up there. So that's 3.
So I don't think we're ever going to get these in any sort of order. but we'll do our best. Shawshank. So we got Avatar, Shawshank, Matrix in the top 5, and then you've got Inception, Braveheart, Gladiator, Forrest Gump.
How's he getting there?
Braveheart in the top 5.
Surely.
I'd agree with that.
So emotional.
And then what would you do? What would your final one in the top 5 be though? Inception, Forrest Gump, Gladiators, Usual Suspects, Last of the Mohicans, or Silence of the Lambs. Oof.
I'm leaning. You didn't fancy Gladiator, but I was leaning towards that. But
if we're talking top 5, I think it's got to be Inception or Gladiators. Yeah.
I think we've missed. I think we've missed some films.
Oh, we've missed hundreds of films. But we did it on the whole point of the show is to do it on the fly. So next time we'll do like best comedy ones or something. Right. So instead of putting them in order, I'm just going to say top 5. So coming in at number 10 of the best films of all time, thought of in like 10 minutes, is Silence of the Lambs. Number 9 is The Last of the Mohicans. Number 8, The Usual Suspects. Number 7.
Jaws.
Gladiator.
Jaws.
Number 6. Oh, you fucked me up now. Forrest Gump. Number 5. Number 5 is Braveheart. Number 4, Shawshank Redemption. And number 3, Inception. Number 2, Avatar. And the greatest film of all time is The Matrix 1, as voted for by Kevin McNaughton.
I said Shawshank was number 1.
I know, I just changed it because it's my channel.
I can't believe we've never put Jaws in it.
We didn't put Rocky in there either, mate. People are going to be fuming.
Well, you were pushing for Bone Collector, mate. I think that was a disgrace.
I felt your rage, mate, to be honest. I thought Trainspotting should have been in the top 10 as well. But there we go. I'll post what we picked as the top 10 films in the chat.
We've missed something else.
People can have a look.
Going to think about Smoking Bandit.
Top 10 films in 10 minutes. Well, that's it. I think we missed a load of...
No, we forgot James Bond.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We got the James Bond.
Top 10 films in 10 minutes.
Mission Impossibles. You'll be saying that Mission Impossibles are all probably going to be up there. I'm trying to remember, kids, I started thinking about films I used to go see as a kid. Jurassic Park, for God's sake. That's up there, surely. That was a game changer.
Jurassic, we'll have to what we'll do is each episode we'll do a different list.
We made a right arse of that.
We've really cocked it up. But that's the point. It's done on the fly, live in 10 seconds. Top 10.
What was the lad's name? What was the lad's name who suggested Zulu Moana?
Rob Boyle.
Rob, you've done us a favour because yours was that bad that made ours look no bad. Thank you, Rob.
Indeed. But that's the point, though, innit? Is we do it live and on the fly. So we did top 10 films in 10 minutes. I've just added that to the chats on the various platforms, and Craig has just said next time do top 10 actors. That's a good one.
There we go.
But yeah,
Angelina Jolie would be in there.
Yeah, Rob just called you a cheeky bugger.
Rob, Moana, top 10
Kevin,
ever film. Right. I want you just go and just sit down and reflect on that.
Becky Willis.
Schindler's List.
She called us uncultured fools as well.
I forgot about that.
Uncultured fools.
I just don't really want to just...
Yeah, maybe we should bin this list off and start again. No, I can't. I gotta go to the toilet. And I said I was going to keep it.
Can Rob send his 10 in?
Yes, Rob, send us your top 10 films ever list.
And do not use
we'll
any of our lists.
Yeah.
Jarhead,
another suggestion. Craig said that.
Craig, you're a jarhead. That's never gone in there.
What about Source Code? What about that? That's a good science fiction film. I like a good time travel film, but there's never been a really good one there.
I'm a big fan of that as well.
That sort of genre.
Oh, you kidding me on? There is. Back to the Future, for goodness sakes.
Jesus
Why have we not thought of that as well?
What are we doing?
Great Scott!
We did not think this through. Oh, I'm devastated that we've left
How's
Back
that
to the
not been
Future off.
Oh, wow. McFly.
I feel sick now that we've just left off Back to the Future from top 10 films ever.
God, there's a few in there. I'm telling you, there's a few we've missed.
Police Academies,
Oh,
Citizen
no.
Kane. Oh, they're
I've
all
seen
coming
that. I've
back
seen
now.
Citizen Kane.
Vertigo. Oh, what's that other one? Fargo.
Fargo. I've seen the series, I've not seen the film.
I haven't seen the series. Is it good?
Series good, very good. In fact, it's just very, very good.
No James Bond's in there. No Rocky's in there. We've really gone to pieces. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Nah, rubbish.
Rubbish. Nothing's as good as The Matrix. Nothing. There's never been another film better than that.
You love The Matrix, didn't you?
It's one of my favourite films, mate, of all time.
You just love Keanu Reeves. Big fan of him.
What?
Point Break.
Point Break. John Wick.
Oh, John Wick, what a film.
Basic Instinct. Classic. Singing in the Rain.
Yeah. That's really... should never ever be anywhere near a list.
But this is why we said, there you go, James Costley's given us his list. He says, Remember the Titans, The Pianist, Coach Carter, I Am Legend, Jumanji, all great films as well. But he says only I Am Legend deserves top 10. Fair enough.
Yes.
Star
yes,
Wars. We haven't said one Star Wars film.
Oh my God, what were you doing?
I didn't even put a Marvel film in there as well. Jesus Christ, what's the matter with me?
What's your favourite ever Marvel film?
Infinity War. Or Captain America, The Winter Soldier is quite good as well.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like them both. I've watched every second of every Marvel film and TV series.
Would you get involved in the old Batman? I thought where they tried to copy Marvel with doing the big universe with it all, I thought they were shite. I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. I really liked the Joker film, was amazing. Have you seen the Joker film?
I think it's really. I'd probably put that in my top 15, top 20 of all time. I think it was wicked.
I just never had a chance to go see it.
You are Rob Boyle, top 5. Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, Flubber, Toy Story, Moana, and Zulu. Rob's wrong.
Was that Rob? Was that Rob?
Yeah,
Oh my! Right,
Rob, who's been baiting you all show.
To be fair, this one is it top.
Ghostbusters,
right?
Jurassic Park, Flubber, Toy Story, Moana, and Zulu.
Toy Story, yeah.
I'd give you Toy Story, and I'd give you Jurassic Park. Give you the original Ghostbusters.
You should.
But I don't think they wouldn't be in my top 10.
Number 4.
Flubber. Not having that.
Rob, you try to redeem yourself and you put in Flubber. Okay.
Yeah, you came close. But I gotta say, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, and Toy Story would be up for consideration for the top 10, but they wouldn't make the top 10.
Toy Story would be close.
Yeah, I think they'd be very close.
Because just on pure.
I wrongly read out.
I'm a fan of the game-changing ones. And I think that was a game changer.
Spot on. And just to finish this off, I wrongly read out James's top 10. He was making suggestions. He says his actual top 10 is Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, I Am Legend, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Green Mile, Fallen, Inglourious Bastards. And he said he can't think of the last 2 yet. Well, that's a top 8, James.
Film.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Fallen's a good film. I wouldn't put it in my top 10, but it's a very good film. It's one left field. That's a good B.
Kevin Warrilow wants to know. He says, Usual Suspects. Kev, why haven't you mentioned The Usual Suspects?
We did, but we just said it's not going in there because it's not good enough.
And Braveheart, he says. I think Kev's just come in.
Braveheart.
I think he's just come in.
Kev,
I think he's come in a bit late. We've already put them on the list.
Every single one of them are in there, mate.
Right, I can't sit still now. So, look, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's nice and laid back. Kev, have a glass of wine, just have a chat about films, music. What else we talked about? Football, your time with Cardiff. Oh, you no red wine tonight. What are you drinking?
It's
vodka neat.
No, it's gin tonic with some. I put some mandarins in there tonight just to
spice it up a bit.
Spice it. That's the words I was going to use. Spice it up.
Variation. That's what you need, just to keep the
Keep the juices flowing, mate. Keep the juices flowing.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Audio version will be out tomorrow, as usual. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We don't do this one weekly. Otherwise, Kev will be in rehab within,
Yeah, just got to save this,
like,
guys. There's not enough gin in this house for this sort of 1.5
show
hours.
like this.
1.5 hours
But,
slots.
yeah, 1.5 hour. But we'll be back in probably a couple of weeks, mate. Do you reckon?
Yes, we will be.
For episode 2 of Super Kev Uncensored. Not uncensored, unscripted. Get it right, Simon. Cheers to everyone who's joined in. And I've enjoyed it. Obviously, the next time, Cardiff won't be playing at the same time.
What's the score, by the way? Still 2-0?
I think it is, yeah. Is it still 2-0, people? Someone will tell me now. Kevin says, nice to see you, Super Kev.
Cheers, Kev.
Rob says he loved it. Catch you soon. Gavin says, thanks. Craig says, enjoyed the show. A lot better than City without fans. Yeah, 2-0. And to finish us off, Kev, James says, do the Ayatollah.
It's been a while.
Well in, son. Cheers, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are inches away from that 1,000 mark. Take us over the line. Let's get us there. We'll be back. Danny Batten MMA show tomorrow, which has already been recorded. Friday, the Andy Campbell Championship show. Sunday, Mental Health in Sport, episode 5. Until then, I bid you adieu. Cheers, Kev.
Cheers, Mucker.